So at the time of me recording this, it's June 22nd, 2026, meaning we're only a day away from the 35th anniversary of Sonic the Hedgehog, and bro, that's kinda crazy to think about. The Sonic series really does mean a lot to me. I do have my gripes with how things are being handled currently with the franchise, but that's not what we're here to talk about today. For today's video, I kinda just wanna sit down and talk about my history with the Sonic series to celebrate the anniversary. Well, I say celebrate the anniversary, but there's no chance in hell that this video is coming out before the 23rd. I've got no idea how long this video is going to be. I don't actually have a script in front of me. I've just got bullet points to kind of help keep me on track. Other than that, guys, I am winging this. So we'll start from the beginning of how I was introduced to Sonic. See, I was introduced to Sonic through a mate who at the time only lived a couple houses down from me. He had a bunch of games just lying on his floor, and one of them was Sonic Gems collection for the PS2. He didn't even own a PS2, so I don't know why he had this. And when I saw and heard about Sonic for the first time, I fucking hated him. Yeah, you wouldn't think so with how my channel looks, the main pieces of art I post. You would think it'll be love at first sight, but no. I couldn't stand Sonic at the time, and I'll tell you why. It's because I thought he looked evil. Yeah. I don't know why I thought that at the time, but I guess I saw the mono eye and thought that made him look constantly angry. Listen, I was like 4 or 5 years old at the time. My brain wasn't fucking functioning properly. I was barely conscious. But yeah, at the time, I couldn't stand Sonic. He tried, bless his heart. My friend tried to get me on board, but it wasn't working. All I needed at that time was Ben 10 and nothing else. Get this blue monstrosity away from me. And this would happen for a good couple years, where he would try his damn hardest to try and get me on board at liking Sonic. It got to a point where I would pretend to like him, just to get him to shut the fuck up. But I could only hold that lie up for so long before he found out that I was just bullshitting him. It actually got to a point where he was saying, "Oh, Ben 10 sucks, I don't know why you like him." And bro, like, it was war when he said that. We were like 5 years old, bro. You disrespect any franchise that I like, you are not walking away. You'd be crawling. He showed me videos of Sonic, and I won't lie to you, I don't think using fan-made media was the best first impression to give me. Like, you guys want to know the first thing he showed me to try and get me on board and liking Sonic? Yes. He showed me a fucking Gmod skit. I mean, I found it funny. But like, this? You want me to get on board with Sonic through this? But yeah, despite finding it funny, it didn't get me on board with Sonic, obviously. Fast forward a little bit, it probably wasn't that much longer in the future. I remember a friend of my mum had a Game Boy Advance, and one day he ended up accidentally leaving it at our house. And for some reason, he never came back for it, so I got a free Game Boy. So, go me! And the game that was in there was Sonic Advance 3. So Sonic Advance 3 was my first Sonic game, and I sucked balls at it. Granted, at that time, I sucked balls at every game I played. And because I was naturally getting frustrated, I don't even think I beat the first act. I don't think I got past Route 99. Because I was getting frustrated, I think that just made me hate Sonic even more. But yeah, maybe it just wasn't meant to be. Maybe Sonic just wasn't for me. Wow. Jesus. I'm a true poet. Jarvis, write that down. And then, on one random day, when I was around my aunt's house, I was on her computer just watching YouTube videos, and one of the recommended videos was a Sonic video. I can't remember which one, but for some reason, after watching that, something just switched in my brain, where I just started liking Sonic. It was weird, bro. It was like being flashbanged. Like my third eye just opened and like, I see it now. I can see why the series is okay. So when I got home, I ran to my mate's house and I was like, bro, I like Sonic now. And because obviously I've done that bullshit before where I just lied about liking him, he didn't believe me at first. So it took some convincing. Now, despite now liking Sonic, I didn't really engage with the series still. I'd argue at that time it was a series I appreciated, but didn't engage with. I was still a Ben 10 guy at that time. So fast forward, probably not even a year later, that's where things change. See, I was in town with my mum at the time, and we were at HMV looking for a game for the Wii. Yeah, to my British folks, do you remember when HMV actually sold games? Nowadays, I believe it's more just pop culture and CDs. But yeah, at one point, they did sell games. And one of the games I was looking for, I kid you not, was a Horrid Henry game. See, beforehand, I played one for the DS and I loved it. And when I found out there was one for the Wii, I wanted on that. But sadly, they didn't have it in stock. I wonder why they didn't have the most, desired game that is Horrid Henry for the Nintendo Wii. Why would they run out of that? I guess it's just too good. People bought up the whole stock. Can't say I blame them. But yeah, I never got to experience peak gaming on the Wii. Truly tragic. So my mum was like, alright, look for another game instead. And so we were there for like 10 minutes, just browsing the game aisle. Because the thing is, I didn't get new games often. And because also I didn't have access to the internet at the time, I had to go off the box art to determine if the game I was getting was going to be any good. So my mum was clearly getting frustrated, so she started helping me look for games. And the one she recommended was Sonic Unleashed. And I was a little hesitant at the time. Yeah, I like Sonic now, but do I really want to drop money on a Sonic game? Because the game was quite new at the time, so it was pretty much... I can't remember, was Sonic Unleashed full price? I think it was. So yeah, it was quite expensive. Granted, I wasn't paying for it, but still. Considering the price, this was probably going to be the only game I was going to get for a while. But eventually, she convinced me, and that's the game I ended up getting. And honestly, I won't lie to you guys, if it wasn't for that single decision, I don't think I would be here today. I know, that sounds really fucking graphic, doesn't it? I would have been shot on sight if I did buy Sonic Unleashed. But no, I mean, I probably won't be posting this video today. If that's not an example of the butterfly effect, I have no idea what is. So yeah, we got the game, we got home, I put it in the system, and I played for hours, only to still be on the tutorial. I really sucked ass at games at the time. I remember it took me like half an hour to do that one Abattoirs mission where you have to get 100 rings within the time limit. I don't know why, it's not a hard mission in the slightest, but it took me a long time to beat. And when I finally got to the first Hedgehog segment, that took even longer. Why? I couldn't figure out how to dash. Even though the game clearly states, press the analog stick in the same direction twice quickly to execute the dash, I didn't know what that meant, so I was stuck for a while. I did the dash by complete accident, which allowed me to, get the gold ring. But after that, I couldn't figure out how to dash again. So yeah, I played most of the game without dashing, which made every time I get a game over, which trust me, it happened a lot, sting even more because the levels would take like twice as long simply because I wasn't running at full speed. You wanna know the worst part? I never actually beat the game. It took so long just to get to Eggman Land, all for me to not be able to beat the time trial for it. So as you all know, the Wii version is mission based. So when it came to certain missions, they would take me a long ass time to beat. The worst ones for me were the ones where you weren't allowed to break anything. Like, my palms were sweaty every time I got to one of those missions. Because if you break anything, boom, you do it again. The second worst one were the time trials. Some weren't all bad because I think some of them you didn't have to play the entire stage. But with Eggman Land, it was different. You had to play the entire level before the time limit ran out. Granted, you got checkpoints which added to your time, but because of my gaming skills or lack thereof at the time, it didn't really make a difference. And the checkpoints actually don't function as checkpoints. You die, you still go back to the beginning. So yeah, I never beat the game, and that stung a little bit. But, despite the frustration, this was where my love of Sonic shot up. I would collect all the games for the Wii, except Black Knight. But yeah, I had Sonic Colors, Sonic and the Secret Rings. Oh, Sonic and the Secret Rings. I remember buying that at one of those pawn shops. Clearly someone didn't want the game. And bro, I was so frustrated at this one. I couldn't beat it. The controls were shit. I actually broke my DS screen in frustration. Yeah, I was so enraged. I broke my fucking DS screen. Oh, I couldn't tell my mum that. Oh, if I told my mum I broke my DS screen, because I got angry at a game, I actually probably wouldn't be here to tell the tale, because I would actually be shot on sight. But yeah, hated Secret Rings. Still do. No amount of childhood wonder can make that game look good. Sonic Colors though, I adored. It was my favourite Sonic game at the time. Mainly because it was the first Sonic game I actually beat. And for the next few years, it was like that. I was a Sonic fan. And that lasted for a while. Though, fast forward to 2016 to 2018, that's where I kind of fell off the series for a bit. I was just pursuing other interests at the time. Pokemon Go became a big thing in 2016, I bet you all remember that. And I was one of the people that got hooked on the game. And that game eventually led to me being hooked on the entire franchise. And because I was busy, you know, playing the games, watching the anime, collecting the cards, I just didn't pay attention to Sonic. And indie games became a massive thing at the time as well, and I started just caring for those rather than Sonic. It's not that I ended up growing up to hate this. I say growing up, bro, I was like 12 at the time, what am I on about? But yeah, it's not like I started to hate Sonic or anything, I just stopped caring for it. I wanted to focus on other things, and for a good long while I did. Problem is, at the time, I didn't really have a lot of people who liked Sonic as well, so it's not like I could really share that interest with them. So I kind of had to enjoy other media, enjoy other franchises. Then, around 2018, I ended up joining... I don't know if I have the balls to say it. I don't know if I... Do I have the courage? Fine. I ended up joining Amino. Yeah. Fuck me. Yeah, that cancer of a site I ended up joining. At the time though, I enjoyed it. It was nice to actually be able to engage with people who shared a similar interest to me. The Sonic one wasn't the first one I joined. I think it was the Pokemon one. But I eventually joined a Sonic one just out of curiosity, and yeah, that's kind of where my love for Sonic came back. It was great to actually be able to share my interest with other people. I started posting my art, which at the time was terrible. Honestly, as much crap as I'm gonna give that site, I gotta kind of thank it though. It introduced me to people who critiqued my art and gave me ways to improve it. One of those people I kind of just want to shout out is Chaos Control 01. So, he was actually one of the first people I met on that site, and we instantly clicked. We started a group chat, I was sending pictures of my art, because he was, and still is, a great artist, by the way. But yeah, he gave me ways to improve my art, and thanks to him, I got great tips. Like, the shapes were looking better, the proportions, they were improving. Seriously, that guy is the reason why I'm still posting art to this day. And speaking of that, going off topic a little bit, so when I eventually left the app, we pretty much stopped communicating with each other. And a random day in 2024, I came across some guy's art on Twitter. And I thought, his art style looks really familiar. So, and then I checked the Twitter handle, Chaos Control 01. I'm like, holy fuck. So I shot him a message, and crazy enough, he remembered me. So we still communicate with each other to this day, which I think is great. That dude was a huge inspiration to me, and a big help in improving my art. So to that, thank you, mate. You are amazing for that. Though that wasn't the only inspiration. The other inspiration was the Sonic movie. So we all know what happened in 2019 on that one fateful day in April. Nightmares. So when the design eventually got changed and the second trailer dropped, oh, the floodgates opened for me. I was drawing the new design pretty much daily. And if you look at my art, most of the recent things I've been posting are related to the Sonic movies because I love drawing the movie style characters. Something about their designs just clicked with me. And because I found them really fun to draw, naturally, over time, my art started to improve even more. The Sonic movies, despite not being perfect, people in the Sonic community not being too fond of them because they are quite different to the source material, which I'm not going to fault anyone for thinking that. That's a fair point to make. They are different, therefore they might not be your cup of tea, which is perfectly fine. I've got my fair share of issues with them as well. But I love the movies. They're different, but they're entertaining. They're fun. And the character designs, again, because they're quite different, not everyone likes them, I personally adore them. I don't want them to become, how the main cast look in the games. No, obviously not. The movie designs work in the movie universe, the game designs work in the game universe. But I love the movie designs so much, and yeah, they're a huge inspiration as to why I continue to draw. And honestly, as more of these movies come out, because they're gonna milk these things dry because they make money, I'm looking forward to continuing to draw these characters. Honestly, the Sonic movies are kind of the only reason why I still engage with Sonic. The recent spin-offs, the collabs, they have their fans and that's fair enough, but personally, they just haven't been clicking with me. I'm looking forward to the next mainline game. I think Shadow Generations and Frontiers are pretty good games, and I'm looking forward to see how the team continues to improve. Though, the Sonic series as is just isn't really doing anything for me. Like I said earlier, the recent collabs, the spin-offs, they just haven't been doing it for me. Which is kind of why I've broken away from the community recently. That and the Sonic community is some hot fucking garbage. Except for the artists, voice actors, and content creators. You lot are amazing at what you do, keep doing what you're doing. I love seeing it. I'm not saying that I've left the community entirely, but I've definitely kind of broken away from it. I'm still going to be posting Sonic things, that ain't going to stop anytime soon. Sonic is something, and will always be something, that really means a lot to me. No, I won't lie. I am looking forward to that Sonic concert next year. That's going to be exciting. I do appreciate you all for tuning into this little ramble. Hey, this could be considered like a third entry to that car waffling series. I am in my car, so it kind of fits the criteria for it. Anyways, I hope you all enjoyed this video. Thank you for tuning in. Happy birthday, you little blue bastard. I will see you all when I next upload.